Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, there was serious debate on who the best shortstop in baseball was. Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, and Nomar Garciaparra. And unless you were born in the 90s, a Red Sox fan, or a serious baseball nerd like me, you've probably never heard of Nomar Garciaparra. However, he was so successful, and I don't think his play should ever get unmentioned because he was so good. So hi guys, I'm Jake, and this is the Nomar Garciaparra story. Nomar Garciaparra was born on July 23, 1973 in Whittier, California. He was exposed to baseball at an early age and even made a wager with his father during T-ball where he would earn 25 cents for each hit and he would owe 50 cents for each strikeout. That information wasn't needed or crucial, but I thought it was kinda cool. But anyway, at the age of 13, Nomar's dad would have him face college pitchers in a batting cage. He would miss the first pitch he saw, but he would drive the ball the rest of the way. Because of Nomar's dedication and work ethic, he was nicknamed No Nonsense Nomar, and that was very fitting for him. His hard work paid off and he was drafted in the 5th round by the Milwaukee Brewers in 1991. However, Nomar did not sign and he would attend Georgia Tech to play baseball there. In his senior year, Nomar would hit .427 and even led his team to the College World Series, even though they would end up losing to Oklahoma. This obviously got the attention of MLB scouts, and he was drafted in the 1st round, 12th overall by the Boston Red Sox in 1994. Nomar would rake in the minors and was the 22nd and the 36th best prospect in 1995 and 1996. He would even make his debut in 1996, but only played in 24 games. However, Nomar had high expectations going into 1997, and he was even ranked the 10th best prospect in the MLB, and he obviously delivered. In 1997, Nomar would hit 30 homers, 98 RBIs, a 306 batting average, and an .875 OPS. He would also lead the American League in hits with 209, triples with 11, and even at-bats with 684. In the same year, he would earn All-Star and Rookie of the Year honors along with the Silver Slugger Award. He would end up continuing his dominance with an amazing 3-year stretch from 1998 to 2000. In this 3-year stretch, he would average 28 homers, 107 RBIs along with a .350 batting average and 106 runs each year. He led the American League in batting average twice and had an OPS over 1,000 twice and made 2 All-Stars and was the runner-up for the AL MVP behind Juan Gonzalez. At this point in time, Nomar Garciaparra wasn't only one of the best shortstop in the league, but he was one of the best players in the league overall. He was even on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 2001, but he wouldn't end the year off on a good note. In 2001, Nomar Garciaparra would hurt his wrist and was limited to only 21 games. This was his first major injury. Even with the setback, he still had a great 2-year stretch after that from 2002 to 2003. In these 2 years, he would average 26 homers, 113 RBIs, and a .305 batting average during these 2 seasons. He was also an All-Star for both of these seasons. Even though this was not as good as his previous stretch, he still was extremely elite and one of the best players in baseball still. However, Nomar Garciaparra would suffer another serious injury in 2004 and he would suffer an Achilles injury and would only play 38 games for the Red Sox before the trade deadline. He would then get traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers in a 3-team trade that also involved the Twins. Even though Garciaparra was on the last year of his deal, the trade still seemed very odd because the Red Sox were still competing, and he was batting in the 320s at the time. But the Red Sox won the World Series that year, so hey, I'm not a general manager for a reason, right? Anyway, he would still deal with injuries with the Cubs that year and would only play 81 games in 2004. These injuries carried in 2005 for Nomar as well, and he only played 62 games for the Cubs that year. Even though this was only a 1-year, $8.25 million deal with the Cubs, this still wasn't a good signing for the Cubs just because of the injury alone, not because of his play. After the 2005 season, Nomar Garciaparra would only sign a 1-year, $6 million deal, this time with the Dodgers though. He still battled injuries, this time it was slight, and he still got to play 122 games. That was all that he needed. In 2006, finally healthy enough, Nomar Garciaparra hit 20 homers, 93 RBIs, and had a .303 batting average and an .872 OPS. He would earn an All-Star and Comeback Player of the Year that same year. The Dodgers were very impressed and signed him to a 2-year, $18.5 million deal to stay as a Dodger. Garciaparra had slight injuries in 2007, but this time it hurt him the most. He played in as many games as the year before, but only hit 7 homers compared to his 20 that he hit in 2006. 2008 wouldn't get much better, and Nomar suffered several injuries, including a microfracture in his hand, a left calf muscle tear, and a sprained knee, all in the same year. He would only play 55 games that year, and to make matters worse, he hit only .264, which was his worst since 1996, the first time he ever got called up. This would lead him to a 1-year deal with the Athletics in 2009, where he would only play 65 games as a utility player. After the 2009 season, Nomar Garciaparra decided to sign a one-day contract to retire with the Red Sox. Nomar Garciaparra was 35, still kind of old, but not that old where he needed to retire. He just got injured so much and he couldn't play baseball anymore. Nomar Garciaparra would finish his career with 229 homers, 936 RBIs, a .313 batting average, and over 1,700 hits. He also earned 6 All-Stars and a Silver Slugger. And it's so sad to see what injuries can do for you, because Nomar Garciaparra was so good, and he ended up not having the career he wanted or the long career that he planned on having because of injuries. Injuries costed him a long-term deal with a team because he didn't play enough to be able to warrant one, and he ended up having to switch positions as well with the Dodgers from shortstop to third base to first base. And he's one of those stories where you wish you could put him in a video game and just turn injuries off just so that he can have the long career he wanted, because he definitely deserved it because he put in so much work and he was so good. He was even rumored to take steroids, but those weren't true. After he retired, he would end up serving as a broadcaster for the Dodgers in 2014, but he never connected with baseball since then. I wish Nomar Garciaparra the best throughout his life, and he definitely deserves to have his career mentioned. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all on Wednesday.